Jesus is talking about himself, and he's summarizing Israel history. Those employees of the owner of the vineyard who claimed the tribute were the prophets among others. Many were the prophets who suffered persecution for speaking precisely in the name of God and who criticized the people for the things they were doing wrong. The son of the owner of the vineyard, is Jesus himself. His death at the hands of men, but death procured and incited by the devil, obtained the opposite result of what he saw. Why? Because such death was redemptive, saving for us. They wanted it to put an end to salvation, and they achieved it unknowingly salvation. But we must begin by asking ourselves one thing. Why? Why did those who had the least vineyard persecuted the honored servants who were going to claim the rent? Why did they persecute and kill the honored son? Why? If we don't understand the reason why, we don't understand the parable. Why? Were they evil for the sake of it? Did they like to kill? Well, in this case, no. There was a cause. The owner wanted it to collect the rent. That is, he was demanding his right. It was neither a whim nor an injustice. He had the right. He was the owner. He had rented the vineyard. He wanted it to collect rent. And what is that rent? The good works. That is the rent. What God has given us, which is the vineyard, our body, our life, our soul. We are the vineyard. Each one of us. Our family is the vineyard. Our homeland is the vineyard. What do you have that has not been given to you? Of course, those who does not have faith, it doesn't see it like that. But we who have faith know that we owe everything to God, even if we have had to make our sake of an effort. The laborers as well had to work in the vineyard. The owner of the vineyard did not ask for all the fruit, he asked for the rent, that on which they had agreed upon. You keep a part, and you give me a part. I don't know how the rent customs worked at that time, whether it was half or 10%. But the owner of the vineyard had the right to claim such rent. God has given us everything and asked for good deeds. That is the rent. He asked that we worship Him. He asked that we imitate Him in our behavior. And that is annoying. A phrase is often said that is true. The messenger must be killed. It is often applied to those who transmit news that is not pleased to hear. A journalist, for example, the messenger must be killed. In this case, the messenger was the one who went on behalf of the owner to say, it is time to pay rent, whether he was an employee or his own son. It is time to pay rent. Today, the messenger is the one who says, this is wrong. You cannot do this. And if you do it, you have to know that it's wrong. You cannot kill. You cannot kill the child in the mother's womb. You cannot do it. You cannot kill a child because it comes with a syndrome, for example. You cannot do that. You cannot kill the elders because they father you or because they are a burden on Social Security. You cannot do it. You cannot close your eyes or your ears to people who are sitting at your table, but you don't feed them, or who are at the door of your house, but you don't open the door. The Lord is asking us for good deeds, because He has the right for it. He is asking us for good works, and that make us uncomfortable. Conscience bothers us. Conscience doesn't let us enjoy our luxuries and pleasures. Conscience tells us, hey, you are doing wrong, look out. That one needs you, you are stealing. And what do? Kill that conscience. And who is the conscience? The conscience of man, of your family, of the world, is the church. And we must start to throw garbage, a garbage that sometimes the church itself provides, scandals, sins. And we begin to say, yes, they are the same or even worse than me. They don't need to teach me anything. They are no moral teachers. They have sins or even crimes, which I don't have. And this is said simply because we don't like to listen to what they say. Do what they say. Don't do what they do. When the church teaches, as it has always taught, not with knowledge that are against the word and the magisterium, the tradition, but as it has always taught, even if the one who teaches it is not perfect. What matters is what they teach. If the employee, the prophet, comes on behalf of the owner of the vineyard to collect the rent, if the employee goes and tells you, my boss sent me and tells me that you have to do this and that, and you say to the employee, but who are you? You are a person with defects. I don't listen to you because you have defects, because you have sins. Well, but I'm not here to tell you to pay me. I'm here to tell you on behalf of my boss. You have to pay him the rent. Many times, way too many times, this whole campaign against the church has been due not to the search for purification of the church himself, although that, thank God, is being achieved, albeit slowly, but it has been due to trying to silence the voice of the church, a prophet voice that was annoying and that went against political correct and went against the Lord of the Word, and then in the end, they tried to muzzle, sometimes eliminating those who were annoying, and other times highlighting their defects so they could be normally discredited. The Lord has saved us. He has redeemed us, and He is our hope. He is blameless. He is the son of the owner of the vineyard. But even if those who speak on behalf of the owner are not perfect, we must listen to their voice when they speak on behalf of the owner of the vineyard naturally. Let us not look for excuses, saying that they are bad or that they have defects, because that perhaps justifies us before our own manipulated conscience, but that will not lead us to do what we should do, and in the end, as the parable of today's gospel says, in the end, the Lord will take the vineyard from us and He will give it to someone else, that they do pay the rent, to others who have good deeds, so be it.